Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to Mouse Cheers. Cheers!
John, today's drink rating of choice is a sun-kissed berry lemonade. Now, I've never tried this before. I wouldn't even say I've tried anything from Sunkist other than an orange soda. But I felt we needed a win from the white birch.
Yeah, that white birch was awful.
So a quick rating out of 10.
Oh, well, okay. Okay, quick rating. What did I give the white birch? What did I give the white birch?
Something very low.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'll give it a 5 because it's kind of middle of the road for me. It's warm. I don't like warm soda. That's fine, but I can appreciate the taste, and the taste is not bad. You know what it reminds me of? You know those sugar things in a straw, like those candy things that you could buy. The straws,
Yeah.
you know, and you kind of open it. It tastes like the blue one of those.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I kind of like the taste. I'm not a big soda guy. I'll give it a 5 just because it's medium. You know.
Yeah, I might give it a 4.5.
Oh, you like it a little less?
Yeah, it's not my jam. It definitely.
We needed a win.
We needed a win
4.5
because I'm a lemonade fan. I thought it was gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get much lemonade out of this at all.
No,
it's
no.
like kind of blueberry, kind of like just a lot of sugar.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's too much sugar.
Yeah,
so
super sweet.
So that's the rating.
So yeah,
So,
okay.
Other than that,
Yeah.
how are you doing, John?
I'm doing terrible.
Yeah,
because we got toxic waste here again. One that's still closed. And I hope not to open it today.
Oh, me too. Well,
Yeah.
the toxic waste is out. That means we must be doing a top 5 list.
Top 5, bottom 5 list. And the rules.
The rules, of course. Now, if we happen to have the same title in the same spot, let me throw an example at you. They're doing top 5 movies with the color green in it.
Yeah.
And we both put Monsters, Inc. as number 1 because of Mike Wazowski. Well, we both share that number 1 spot with the same movie, so we have to pay the consequences.
So we have to both have one of these.
We have to both have one of these.
Hazardously sour candy.
Yeah.
Choking hazard. Sugar.
So give me your. What are you thinking right now, John? What's going through your head? Do you think
there's beeswax in here?
There's beeswax in there. I love to hear it. Save the bees, or
save the bees.
Save the bees.
Bees are important.
Do you think bees are very important? Do you know about bees?
I know how important they are. Yes.
Oh, there we go. I don't know enough about bees to continue that conversation.
Me either, but I know they're pretty important.
There we go. Save the bees. Do you think we're going to crack that today?
I
do.
You do?
I do.
I'm hoping we don't. It's possible we will because today is top 5 most movies with the most rewatch value.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom 5 with the least amount of rewatch value, and that would be just the Disney classics proper.
Yeah,
not Pixar, not live action, not whatever anything else, sequel, none of that.
None of that.
Disney animated proper.
Those things will have. Well, those things will have their day in the sun, but we are a day in the shade.
The day in the sun kissed.
It would have worked out nicely,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
today is not a day in the sun, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not.
So
how you doing?
I have to say I'm doing very well. Let me tell you something really quick.
Yeah.
Recently, I taste tested every holiday Reese's Cup, blindfolded.
Hold on. How did you have all of them?
You hold on to one as they come out, right? Some come out early.
Uh-huh.
And some stay out past the holiday. It worked perfectly to where we had all of them.
Let's talk this out.
Gonna blind taste, literal blindfold.
Really?
Each one, you cut it up so you can't tell the shape,
Yeah.
right? And you just give your honest rating. Now, I went into this
Thinking.
you know how I smack talk. You know, roll back the tapes.
I'm interested in this because I have an opinion on those. So hold on. What do we got? We got the Reese's Trees for Christmas.
The Treeses, yes.
The Reese's Treeses. The Reese's Eggs.
The Reese's Eggs.
The Reese's Hearts.
Reese's Hearts.
The Reese's Bats. Do they have that?
They do. We didn't go that. We
Okay.
went pumpkin.
Okay, Reese's Pumpkin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Reese's Pumpkin. And you didn't go like the Reese's Bells or anything like that.
No.
No. You did the ones that are all pretty similar, but you have an opinion on. Like I think that I like the Reese's Eggs the best, and I love all of them. But I because I want to hear your story.
Now, I took a hard stance, and I still do to this day. The Hearts are my favorite.
Really?
The Hearts are my favorite. I've always thought that, but this brought it to the absolute test. And can I just say, Amanda and I did it, and Amanda's family did it as well.
Oh, that's fun.
John,
Yeah.
everyone got the same number one.
Really?
Everyone.
What was it?
It was the Reese's Egg. But,
Boom. Yeah.
let me say this.
Mhm.
For me, the Heart came in second,
Okay.
and it was only 0.1 away from the Egg.
Really?
And I said, and I quote, when I ate the Heart, I said, oh, I could eat this on a regular. Then when I ate the Egg, I was like, it's clearly the best. So I gave it, I think it was like 8.9 for the Hearts and then 9.0 for the Egg, something like that.
Damn. I will tell you, the Reese's Trees have a little bit too much rigidness going on.
I think the trees were the worst, so across the board also, yeah.
And then the Reese's Pumpkins are, in my head, would be my second favorite because they're similarly shaped to the Egg.
It really plays with your head doing it blindfolded because
Yeah.
you think you'd be able to differentiate. You can't.
Right. Well, because it's really a chocolate to peanut butter ratio, which
That's
I think
exactly what it is,
I know the Egg
no,
perfects,
no,
especially since everybody got the same number one.
Unfortunately, the
It's
Egg
kind
perfected.
it's kind of undebatable now, and I'm really happy you had that contest because it puts me at ease. The Reese's Eggs is tops.
It's tops, but you know that 0.1 is just a rounding error.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with the Hearts.
Yeah. Hearts are your fave. That's fine, but we cannot contest the numbers.
We can't contest that there is a proper
clean sweep.
We'll
call it a clean sweep. Oh, it's a clean sweep.
A clean sweep with a possible rounding error. I hear that.
Was everybody's number 2 the Hearts?
No, everyone's
go.
number
Clean.
2 was different.
So clean sweep. Everybody's number 1 was the same.
Well, I mean,
Couldn't be a rounding error if not everybody said.
For me.
For you, yes. Not for everybody. I'm just talking about the facts. If we're getting bottom line the numbers, hey, 100 people. How many people were there? 1, 2, 3, 4?
3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 people did.
All right, so let's say 5 people did it. Break that into 100. 100 people had the number 1 as the Reese's Eggs.
That is pretty ridiculous.
Only 20 people had the Hearts as number 2.
That's not great.
So that just put that in perspective on how
just a point. Just a point. Point 1.
Right, 20 people out of 100.
Well,
yes.
but it's, rounding errors and whatnot.
Which
you know,
is-
they call for revotes for like a big elections and whatnot. I say call for a revote.
Egg is king. Cheers to the Reese's, the darn Reese's Egg. Cheers.
Cheers to that. End the podcast.
Cheers. Yeah.
No, but so I'm very interested. I really want you to try that one day.
Yeah.
It is a process collecting all of them, but worth it.
I really want to try that.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So,
I didn't know where you were going with it. I'm like, how can you taste test them? They all taste the same. But yes, you're trying to see the one your favorite is indeed your favorite by the ratio.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was.
Wish I was there.
Yep, absolutely. So, John, let's just jump right on into our topic of for discussion.
Let's get it.
Top 5 most rewatchable Disney classics.
Uh-huh.
Bottom 5 Disney classics with the least rewatch value.
All right. Yeah, including honorable and dishonorable.
That is correct. That is correct.
Mentions.
And once again, if we have the same at any point in time on the same number, we pay the ultimate price. So we start with dishonorable right now. We start with the least, right? Is that what we've been doing?
We start with honorable. Because it's funnier to talk about the bad.
Oh, okay.
So we start with the good.
Gotcha. Right on. Okay. So, well, you know,
it's what we have done.
Of course. Well, you know the classic rules. Everyone knows it from when we're kids. Everyone says it. Everyone still says it at the dinner table from time to time. The person who drank the most gets to go first.
That's true.
I get to go first.
Big surprise.
Okay. I'm going to hit you with my top 5 most rewatchable. Number 5.
Okay.
I'm going to go Jungle Book.
Most rewatchable. Very good.
Now, here's the spin I took. Well, here's the gimmick. Here's the spin. Here's the gimmick I took with my list.
Mm-hmm.
Because some might question, well, Andrew, didn't you and John do a top 5, bottom 5 Disney movie renaissance or anything like that? Wouldn't it just be the same list? No.
In fact, yeah, good. Yeah.
I went with what drives me to rewatch the movie. Now, there are movies in my top 5 that did not make this list because, yes, it's a spectacular movie.
Likewise.
And it's clearly like in my favorites and whatnot. But there's something, if it's a comedic value, if it's a heart-wrenching scene, there's something that brings you back to something specific, even if it didn't make a top 5 best.
Yes.
You understand? So that's where we're coming from with this. I'm going to go Jungle Book. John,
Good.
You can't go wrong with Jungle Book.
It's true. And it's so episodic in Mowgli's journey that it is extremely rewatchable. So I agree with you.
It was the last movie Walt Disney gave approval for, if I'm correct.
It's the last movie that he was working on. He died right before it came out, a little bit before it came out. Aristocats came afterwards. That was his final, the final Walt touch was on Aristocats. But Jungle Books is like the last one that he worked on, yeah.
The scene where Baloo is dancing with King Louie to get Mowgli back.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, I'll watch just that scene sometimes.
Yeah.
The monkey is very funny.
Yeah.
It's just something I could pop in, watch, have a good laugh, but also enjoy a good story.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
A solid number 5.
A solid number 5, right?
Solid number 5, yeah. But not my number 5. So stay closed, toxic waste.
Stay closed.
My number 5 is Aladdin. And the reason is the song. Okay, so the songs are phenomenal. And I think this is my only, well, I'm not going to give anything away, but the songs are phenomenal, and the genie is funny, and Iago is funny, and it's just, I think as bad of couple they are, as bad a couple as Aladdin and Jasmine are.
Which roll back the tapes, we talk about that.
They're still an interesting couple, and they're interesting, likable characters. So I think that the movie as a whole, not a perfect movie, but extremely rewatchable. It's one that I would put on if I had like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. If I had like those 3, I would pop on Aladdin first, and I would rewatch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I respect it. First of all, the animation's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
You could watch it just for the animation. Yeah. The music, that's Alan Menken, if I'm correct.
It is.
Absolutely outstanding. No one will even begin to top Robin Williams' performance as the genie. Friend Like Me is a great song.
Yeah, Prince Ali.
Yeah. It's a respectable number 5.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to go number 4. I'm going to continue this train with things that make me laugh. I'm going to go Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, Andrew. What are the rules Do we have to do more than one if we have more than one the same?
Unfortunately, that is the rule.
All right, my number 4 is Emperor's New Groove.
Okay. Do we talk about it first, or do we?
No, we gotta pop one and talk about it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Hopefully this isn't like the Mentos factor and it like fizzes with the carbonation. Like,
All right.
by the way, the Mentos thing, who knew who found out about that? Because it's not so weird. Like if somebody walked into a convenience store back in the day and bought a bottle of Coke and a thing of Mentos, like that's not that weird. So somebody probably had a real bad time. So these are basically like airheads or warheads.
All right. So once they're popped in the mouth, we'll start talking about it.
Okay.
They're smaller than I thought they'd be. These don't look that bad. They're rather small, actually.
Cheers. Wait. They don't smell sour.
No. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now,
So.
The Emperor's New Groove
Yep.
is absolutely very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with it. One of the most...
David Spade's performance. I like it.
Yeah.
Yzma and Kronk.
Two very funny characters.
Mm-hmm.
Kronk, very funny. He even got his own spinoff because he was so good. Which isn't bad.
Yes, he did.
Which isn't bad.
There was an Emperor's New. There was an Emperor's New Groove TV show too, right?
Emperor's New School is what it was called. That was bad.
Don't breathe in. Don't breathe in while you talk.
Okay. It passed for me. I'm good now. Well, that wasn't fun.
That was bad. Well, it was kind of like a warhead.
Yeah.
But if I remember Warheads correctly, it passes, but then it kind of comes back. So we'll see.
So it's absolutely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I love rewatching it. And it's a fun story, and it's a quick watch.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it doesn't take too much of your time.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, kind of like throwing laughs a minute at you, and it's really great. Love it. These taste exactly like Warheads.
Yeah, actually, it does. Those are like extreme sour warheads.
Yeah.
And actually, if I'm being honest, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
No, there was like I coughed and stuff because I like was talking, so it builds up, the salivate builds up, and I breathed in, and like there was sourness all over. I'm like,
yeah,
anyway.
no. So it wasn't good, but wasn't terrible.
Whew.
Like it would suck to do it again.
Yeah, I don't want to do it again, but I think we're gonna do it again. I really think we're gonna do it again.
Okay.
I really don't want to do it 2 more times. This is like a warning, like you'll bust a taste bud.
Okay.
All
so
right.
you're number 4.
So Emperor's New Groove. It's just it's so fun and kind of irreverent and very short, like you said. That who's not in the mood for a good time, like to like laugh and have a silly time, and that's what that movie is. It doesn't take itself serious at all, and it's a fun time, and that's it.
Yeah,
It's
very
rewatchable.
respectable.
The villain and Kronk, Yzma and Kronk are like the best, and it's just a silly time.
Yep.
Love it.
Absolutely, me too.
Number 3.
My number 3 is The Rescuers Down Under.
Okay.
We're safe. Now, this should come as no surprise, as it's one of my absolute favorites. But also, it's funny because...
There's sour in the center. Continue.
Good to know.
Yep.
Percival C. McLeach, Joanna,
Yeah.
2 very funny characters that interact very well.
Yeah.
The animation's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I love the story.
Yep.
I love Bernard and Bianca as characters.
Yeah.
They're great. They're a great couple too. Roll back the tapes.
Yep.
I only have good things to say about it. I could watch it anytime.
I think it's a perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Respectable number 3.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Interesting.
Yeah. Whenever I have the urge to be like, I want to watch through all of them, obviously you start with Snow White because that was the first one, and it never gets boring. It never gets tiring for me to rewatch it. It is saturated in Disney magic. It is like Disney personified. Like it's and it's funny. Like the dwarves are funny, the antics are funny. It's classic. It's fantasy. It's romantic. It's everything. I don't know. It's one of my favorite Disney movies.
Hey.
And there's a reason for that, and I can watch it any time.
Well, there we go. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Snow White myself, especially if you got and those older movies. I know we've talked about it on the podcast before, and it really has nothing to do with the movie, but it's just a little added thing. Pop in the Blu-ray, you watch the Disney Vision because those older movies were in the widescreen,
right,
with the black on the ends.
Yeah,
and so you can turn on the Disney Vision and the
the
paintings.
sides, yeah.
So
it's actually effective. Yeah,
it was very effective. I love it actually. A very solid choice. Very solid choice. I respect it. I respect it. All right, my number 2. Sword in the Stone. We're good?
We're good.
We're good. John, Sword in the Stone is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I can watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
For the squirrel scene alone.
Me for Madam Mim.
It's just you watch a scene because you want to get to it because it's so funny, and then it comes and goes, and then you're like, oh, and now I have this to look forward to. It's just one of those movies.
Yeah. No, again, it's kind of episodic where he turns into a fish, he turns into a squirrel, a bird, and then there's the wizard's duel, and then there's the jousting and it's episodic in a way.
Yeah.
And that makes it very rewatchable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but
and Archimedes,
boy,
hilarious.
And overall, I only have good things to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I put it on when I want a good laugh.
Yeah,
I think it's very funny.
It is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I respect that choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Wizard's Duel and the whole Madam Mim section is where it's at for me mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole movie. I love it. But I don't have it on my list. I will call it an honorable mention.
That's fair.
Because it's mostly like, there's a big section of the movie that I could rewatch, but maybe not the whole movie. So that's but very respectable. Number 2. Number 2, Encanto. So here's why I know it's rewatchable. It's because my son and my daughter love rewatching it. It's kind of on loop all the time. But here's the thing. You know how it comes to a point where okay, I'm learning so much about this movie. I love it. Then it's like, okay, it's getting old. Then it cycles back to, I love this again. So, I think it's extremely well made. And what I appreciate about it is there's not any real juvenile humor in it. Sometimes, a lot of kids' movies, especially nowadays, resort to juvenile humor. But this is just a good movie with authentic laughs that come with great music, opinion be what it may, and a great story that actually still moves me emotionally when I see it after all these times. So I had to put it real high up for my rewatchable.
There we go. Okay. I don't share the same thoughts and feelings. In fact, it's in one of my dishonorable mentions.
Really?
As we all know my feelings, if you've watched the podcast before, I'm sure you know my feelings on Encanto. I wouldn't watch it a second time, let alone over and over.
So you're good. You don't even need to watch it. Wow.
I'm good.
Wow.
I'm good. Yeah, but respectable.
Fair enough.
Respectable. So this is the big one.
Well, honorable mentions first.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, let's go honorables.
Okay. So I'm gonna go since we're talking Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm gonna go Moana. Moana is an honorable mention of mine.
Me too.
That's one that is very much. Oh, I want to watch a Disney movie. What should we watch? Moana. It's just easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, easy to put on, easy to watch.
Yeah.
So it's very enjoyable. I like it. And also, I'm gonna say Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Wreck-It Ralph because I love, and I know you share the same love for those old style video games.
Yeah.
And It has a wonderful message and very emotional. I just love watching it. Something really special.
Yeah, it is a really good movie. Wreck-It Ralph doesn't get as much recognition, I feel. So
Yeah.
Moana, honorable mention. Frozen. The reason Frozen's honorable mention is I feel like halfway through the movie it like stops being a musical and then it can start to drag a little bit. The Lion King, again, rewatchable for sure. However, after a few viewings, you're kind of like you're all set. So, and then Tangled, which made it close to being my number 5. But I think Aladdin's a little more rewatchable than Tangled.
You know, when Tangled first came out, I gotta tell you, I watched it a lot.
Yeah, it's certainly rewatchable.
It certainly is. So it's good for honorable mentions.
Yeah.
It did start to become overplayed for me a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas others just don't. But when it first came out, I did watch it a lot. So that's a good honorable mention.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
Number 1 is Hercules.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you told me I had to watch one movie every day for the rest of my life, I wouldn't hesitate to say Hercules.
Really?
It's my favorite It's my favorite Disney movie. It's in my top 10 favorite movies.
Really?
I think the animation is great. I think the music is great. I think the message is great. It's not too long. It's an easy watch. I only ever have good things to say about it. I'd watch it every day.
Wow. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Now, while Hunchback of Notre Dame is my favorite Disney movie, it's not my number 1 most rewatchable because it's it's thematic and it's like it's a watch.
Of course.
Rescuers Down Under.
It's a good number 1.
Yeah.
You know, if it had to be on the list, number 1 is the spot for it. I hear that.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect movie, and it's so enjoyable, and nothing about it is boring, and everything about it has a purpose. It's so amazing with the eagle flying scene, and then the villain's colorful, and the villain sidekick is colorful. Every character is colorful and enjoyable to watch, and John Candy,
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Really. So very good, very good.
Hey, that's a good list.
Yeah,
that's an overall.
Thank you as well.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah,
of course.
Those were some solid. You did us wrong at one point, but I mean, those were some solid movies there.
Yeah. Let me ask: Is there a so guilty pleasure movie that like in the past? Have you ever had a movie that you watched every day for a while?
Yeah.
Like you put it on every day.
Yeah, I've watched Hercules every day for a little while.
Really? Okay. Like I'm talking even non-Disney.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like maybe not. Like what's every day? Like if I did it at least 2+ days or longer,
dude.
Because there are some movies I saw in theaters and I went back the next day to see them. Do those count?
No. This is. I got home from high school every day and I popped this movie on. That's what I did, and I watched it. And then. Previous, like maybe a year later or a year before or something, I was watching this movie just every night. Like at the end of the night, dinner, bedroom, put on this movie and watch it. Anything like that.
I definitely have done that with Hercules before in my life.
Yeah, so that counts as.
Yeah, and I have to say there was a point in time where, yeah, there was a point in time where I think it was more like the movie was in my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it was in.
Yeah.
So I was like, eh.
What was the movie?
Yeah. I'm blanking on it, but I remember specifically because it was a funny point in time where like I was getting new internet and so I didn't have internet, so I only had like the actual copies of movies.
Yeah.
So it's a Blu-ray that I own. I think I did that with Cars.
Okay.
And I want to say something like Back to the Future.
Okay, the first one?
Yeah.
Mine was The Wedding Singer. I used to watch that every night. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just liked it.
Huh.
And then when I got home from school every day, like a year later or whatever, I'd put on The Replacements.
Oh, I've never
That
seen that.
football movie with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I don't like sports. Watch it. It's good.
Oh, I'll add it to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a.
Is it better
I mean,
than Varsity Blues? Because as far as football movies go, it's probably like the only one I care for.
Well, here's the thing. How many football movies have you seen in your life?
3, 4.
So like stuff like The Longest Yard with like Adam
That
Sandler.
is one of
Oh,
them.
awful.
It is awful. Yeah.
But I will tell you, you see Remember the Titans?
No.
Remember the Titans is solid. Varsity Blues, I think that might be tops for me in terms of movie. But Replacements is a football movie, and I love it. It's like I hate the sport, but I like good movies.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And Moneyball was very like that. Did you see Moneyball?
No, but I would want to because I just recently learned that Philip Seymour Hoffman is in it.
Yeah, he's the coach. Yeah, he does.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
I like Moneyball. Yeah. Again,
and Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. Yeah, Jerry Maguire was okay.
Oh, I love Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
And to be honest, not another teen movie dabbles in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I love Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very funny movie. Yeah. Yeah, so those sport movies. But yeah, I'll add Replacements to mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a guilty pleasure, but it's like one of those, 90s, early 2000s, dime a dozen comedies, but it just struck a chord with me, so.
Yep, of course.
So that's that.
All
right.
So do you want to start our bottom 5?
Start at the bottom 5.
All right, let the danger begin.
Please.
I'm going to go number 5. I'm going to go, I think we're safe. I'm going to go Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't like it. And I hate that it follows one of my favorite Disney movies. So it's like
it was a disappointment.
It's disappointed times 2. It wasn't good, and the first one was so good. That's what you did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could easily never rewatch it again. Easy.
Same. I could easily never rewatch it. We'll call it a dishonorable for me. I wanted to like it when it came out, so I told myself, "Hey, this wasn't bad, but it's not very good," because I haven't rewatched it since. And a lot of the jokes were dated. It was.
And that's another thing about when you do things like that. And I can list off many examples, not just Disney movies, of when you do things or make stories around any sort of social media, technology, they become dated the second it comes out.
Right.
So
why even do it?
And I hate it. It's a quick grab to make a quick buck in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that TikTok dance.
Right.
In 1 year, everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell is that?"
Right. It's literally just made for this crowd at this time.
Yeah, that is not the proper filmmaking. That's not cinema.
Not timeless at all. Yes,
it's not cinema.
I agree. So okay, agreed. Number 5 for me. I love this movie, but Fantasia is not that rewatchable.
You have to be in a very specific mood for it. I hear you.
And I could watch Sorcerer's Apprentice once a day. I could do that, but the whole movie, it's
pretty long.
It's a meditative movie. It's like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
But it's you'd have to you're watching it, and you're not watching it for the same kind of entertainment that you'd watch a comedy for. It's a different kind of entertainment that takes up your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind needs to be playing ball with this.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you.
So that's that.
Absolutely.
But I love Fantasia. No mistake about that.
No disrespect, but man, I think I've only seen it once because I'm never in the mood.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that includes Fantasia 2000, by the way. I didn't go cheap and put both of them on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why would you?
How did you? He went cheap. What do you got?
Well, for number 4, I got Bolt.
Okay.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It didn't do much for me. The story was a story I felt like I've seen before. No character I loved. It was computer animation. It was I don't know,
early computer animation.
Miley Cyrus was the happening person at the time, so she was in it, and it was it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good movie. Believe me, I'm happy that my son doesn't rewatch that one. But once a year, I wouldn't have a problem watching it. So I wouldn't. It's not on my list. But I understand why it'd be on yours. So fair point. Fair point. It's not great. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a couple of the movies I've been watching recently.
And that it's worthy of the number 4 spot because there are more that I wouldn't rewatch.
Right.
But it should be noted. So I think 4 is a good spot for it.
For sure. So, okay, very good. My number 4 is Home on the Range. Now, I don't hate this movie as much as other people do. But man, I don't need to watch. I could watch this maybe once every 5 years. Not very rewatchable for me. It's just not enjoyable enough. It's a little forgettable. I appreciate the Pied Piper aspect. I like Randy Quaid as the villain enough, but forgettable still. And the comedy, most of it doesn't really hit. So that's that.
I think it's respectable. Honestly, I haven't seen Home on the Range yet. I got to add it to the list.
Okay. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is.
Right, yeah.
It's not great. Certainly not great. Right. I don't know that I'd even call it good, but it's okay.
Right.
Yeah. So there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like it.
A raving review.
Now, I think this might be a little controversial.
Okay.
And I'm ready for the hate. My number 3 is Robin Hood.
Really?
Yes. I watched it. I didn't care for most of it.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't keep my... One, I don't care for the story of Robin Hood, first of all.
Okay.
2,
But it's got that dance.
The
one from Jungle Book you like so much.
Well, I mean, let's keep it in Jungle Book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I didn't care for the song either that kept on coming up.
Oodle Alley?
Oodle Alley.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my top 5. Roll back the tapes. That's one of my least favorite songs.
Yeah, so I didn't care for Oodle Alley. I actually found it quite boring at times.
Really?
I did.
I thought the climax was pretty good.
Well, the climax was something, but if a climax is good, but it takes you an hour of boring stuff to get there, is it really a good movie? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just didn't do anything for me. I could easily not rewatch it again.
Respect.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't expect it, but respect.
Hey.
Atlantis.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
Okay. I hear ya.
And everybody's like, I like Atlantis. You know how good that would be as a remake done well? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it would be good done well.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie's done that well.
Let me tell you, the people who like Atlantis are crazy people.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a good idea. I was excited for it. It's not done that well.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. It would be awesome if they did it good. They didn't do it horrible, but it definitely drags for me. It's a little overlong for me, or just drags. It's a little forgettable.
Oh, I 100% agree, and I'll even go as far as to say I don't want to see a live action of Atlantis. People who say that are posers.
Agreed.
Because what's it going to look like? It's going to be a couple actors who are big names now. It's probably going to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Spider-Man kid. Tom Holland.
Oh, Tom Holland would probably play that.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole thing is going to be CGI.
Yeah.
You want to see that? You want to see that movie?
Absolutely not.
I don't. That's exactly what it would be too, and I'd lose my mind on this podcast.
If that ever happens, we're going to have a whole episode devoted just to the fact that it's being made.
Yeah.
Not even before it comes out.
Yeah.
We'd have multiple podcasts about it.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
So 2 is I did Fantasia 2000.
Okay. Oh, no. You lumped them together.
I did.
So you didn't go cheap. I meant putting them on 2 different spots in the...
Oh, no, I lumped them together.
Okay.
Again, what's been said already, it still stands true.
Yeah.
Nothing against it, but man, I'm never in the mood to watch it.
And the thing, I agree with you, and the only reason I didn't put it lower is because I like and appreciate it. But yeah, you're fully justified in having it as your number 2. You are.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
This is fun having like carbonated beverages on this podcast. Strange World. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think so.
It's one of those bland.
Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think like does Kurt Russell voice something in there too? I think it's a bland story, lacking creativity. I don't think it's done well. I think it's
It didn't. I remember watching the trailer, and I hear what you're saying. It didn't want to make me watch it, but that's
Yeah.
Disney now. If you ask for my opinion.
it's Dennis Quaid.
Quaid.
D Quaid. Here's the thing. Even when it began, I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is good. This kind of feels Disney, and then it just kind of went off the rails for me, and I would not want to rewatch it really. Maybe maybe I'd see it again, but I don't have a want to. You know.
Yeah.
So it's low. I don't really like the movie, and not a lot of people did.
Oh well, there we go.
So dishonorables.
Let's hit the dishonorables. I'm gonna go Encanto.
Okay.
And again, I'm gonna hit you with a controversial one.
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Ooh, I love Pocahontas.
I know. Well, here's the thing. Here's why it just made dishonorable. Because I enjoy Pocahontas.
Yeah.
It is, for me, the clear worst of the Renaissance.
Ooh, not me.
I would watch any Renaissance before I watch Pocahontas.
Really?
And if I'm saying that, I think it deserves a dishonorable mention.
Fair enough. Yeah, not I. Okay. Is that your only dishonorable?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. I got Black Cauldron because, again, it's one that could have been done well, but they didn't do it that great. And then Fun and Fancy Free, which I think, to a point, is a snooze fest. So I wouldn't want to rewatch that. And that's that. Those are my dishonorables. All right.
Can I just say, I know what you did.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing.
The fact that it hasn't come up yet is kind of a telltale sign. Jeez.
All right.
Are these different flavors?
So this one is
This is blue raspberry. What did I have before? Black cherry.
this is watermelon. I think I had a green one. Must have been apple. Oh,
I had black cherry.
yeah, this is apple. All right.
Like medicine.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness, this one looks a little more sour.
How come this is watermelon but it's green? It's like, is cotton candy pink or blue? You know, watermelon red or green? It's red. You know what I mean?
Well, it should be like pink. No, that would be strawberry. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Wait a minute. What's your number one?
Oh, let's not jump the gun here. There's still a chance.
Yeah.
It's Chicken Little.
It's Chicken Little.
Cheers. Cheers. This one's already worse than the
I
apple.
know. It started sour immediately.
The thing is, I think the tongue, it messes with the tongue because the second one is actually worse. Oh, the second one's actually worse.
Oh, it's like it.
Oh, why's it worse?
It's like it. Oh, it's like the first one hurts your tongue. Oh, the first one makes your tongue less ready for the second.
I take back everything I said about the first one being okay. I take back everything I said about the first one being okay. Because it's not.
About what being okay? Oh, the first one being okay?
The first one is not okay because it sets you up for disaster for the second one. And you know what? That's a bad person in my book.
I believe we did 2 of these. Well, last episode we didn't do any.
It passed. Okay. Okay.
Last episode we didn't do any,
So it makes sense.
so we do 2 this episode.
This sucks.
Yeah, Chicken Little does suck.
It sucks as bad as toxic waste. Here's the thing.
Sucks as bad as toxic waste times 2.
I didn't like the story.
Washed down with Sunkissed.
Yeah, right. That burns the tongue after toxic waste too, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't like the story. I hated the computer animation. I hated the climax. What's his Cluck name?
Zach Braff?
No. The dad.
Mr. Cluck or something.
Yeah, something. Buck Cluck, I think it is. He's a terrible dad. Roll
Yeah.
back the tapes to the Disney dads.
Oh yeah.
I hated it.
And and it's not funny.
No.
It tries to be edgy and like making fun of Disney and stuff, and it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cool. It's not cool. It's dated.
Mm-hmm.
What other bad thing can I say about it?
I mean, the bad thing to say about it is it.
Right.
It's bad. Erase it from the library. You won't see me shed a tear. Erased. John, that was a respectable list. Both of them.
You as well. Thank you.
And we're going to have to do this again. We can do it with Pixar, non-animation. We're just going to have to do this again.
Woo!
The sour in the middle.
More sour. It was more sour in the middle. All right.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Let's get on our game for next time and not do this again.
Yeah, let's not. How many of these are left?
There's a whole...
There's a lot left. They fit a lot in this little barrel.
Yeah.
There's beeswax in this.
Well, shout out to beeswax. Bees are very important.
Yes, they are.
We here at Mouse Cheers support the bees. Andrew from Mouse Cheers, I support your both of your lists.
You as well.
To that, I will say, I'll cheers to that.
As I. Ditto.
I'm out.
I'm not.
Cheers.